Yeah, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fears, no fear. We said what we said, and meant that. Off the record, off the record. Yeah, we keep it real. Yeah, we keep no filters, no filters. Politics stories, on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our way. Off the record, in the God. Foxy to Roxy, she go hard.
I swear on everything that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
Lizzie with the facts, she never with the facts. I said what I said, that's what I said. Off the record, come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talking, the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. Pull the roots from what they keep. Paint the progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop the seats, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apology, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. This the realest show you ever saw. Off the record. We said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. Yeah. We said what we said. Off the record.
All right. What's good, family? Welcome to Off the Record, the place where truth doesn't whisper. We speak up. And I'm your host, Minion with Opinion, also known as Minion the God. And tonight, guys, we're not here for the headlines and the mainstream news. We're here for what's behind the scenes. And I'm not doing this alone. Joining me today is I Said What I Said. No filters, no fluff, no rewriting history. Once the facts hit the table. And on the other side, we've got Foxy 2, Roxy 3. Sharp, fearless, and always ready to call it exactly like it is, even if it makes you uncomfortable. What's good, ladies?
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, please, we're glad that you're here. And this is where we keep things real, talk about what matters, and have honest conversations. So let's get ready to get into this mess. And I'm doing great, and I hope everyone out there is doing great tonight.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. Let's talk about it. Let's get it cracking.
All right, guys. So, as you guys can see, we are going to be talking about the state of the nation and the society and America all together, all of it. And so I hope you guys are ready to get into it because based on all of the stuff that I've been seeing at this point, I feel like it's safe to say America is cooked. But let's talk about the things that we're going to talk about tonight, guys. It's going to be a few things. So I hope y'all are ready and I hope y'all have y'all popcorn. And before we actually get into the show, guys, we would be hugely appreciative if y'all hit that like button and subscribe if you have not done so. But tonight, actually, before we get into it, I'm jumping the gun. Do we need to do any shout outs first?
Yeah, we have Javar Ellis in the house tonight. Welcome in, Javar, and thank you for joining us. We appreciate your presence.
Absolutely.
Hope you
Hi,
enjoy the show.
Javaris. Hi, Javaris.
And that's all I see in the chat so far, Minion.
All right. Well, guys, tonight we talking about the Hispanics and them regretting that they voted for Trump because he got a really good Hispanic voting this last time around. We're gonna talk about the fact that the president of Venezuela was captured and nobody's even talking about it anymore. It's not even a headline. That's how much stuff is going on in America right now. We're going to talk about Hegseth announcing his partnership with Elon Musk and the Pentagon and what implications that may mean. We're going to talk about why did most Americans even vote for Trump? Just regular average Americans. We're going to talk about if MAGA has lost their base, and more importantly, have they lost the world? Is there Nazi messaging in the administration, y'all? So this is going to be a chaotic show. It's going to be all over the place. We have ICE attacks at a high school. We have a white teacher that's being detained by ICE. We have a Black U.S. citizen that's being stranded somewhere, and we have a pastor that's being detained, so that ICE can instill fear in him. And then we're going to also talk about a former female ex-Marine who claims to have been beaten by ICE. So we're going to talk about all these actions, and then we're going to ask the question, who's the real terrorist? And then at some point, we're going to take a deeper look into Renee Good's death at the end of the show, guys. So we got a lot leading up to that part. And so I say, without further ado, let's get into the show. Oh
Ooh,
yeah, I forgot that I added that in right at the end, right before we got on. So what do you guys think? Trump is flipping the bird to the people. What's going on?
well, um, I guess he got a little upset today. Somebody, called him a name, and he just responded, and I just think it was a natural response for him. And so he flipped them off, and he actually said the words so the person couldn't hear him. So he actually used a hand gesture, but I just don't think a president of the United States should flip the bird out, off to to a citizen. It just looked unprofessional, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy.
Yeah.
My thing is, they remember they were making a big issue about the mayor in Missouri, Minnesota, saying the F word, the F bomb. And yet he's right here at the dealership telling these people F, giving them the F bomb, and then turn around giving them the finger right behind it. And this is at the Ford dealership.
Yeah, all right, guys. So that's our president today. I guess that's a good way to start the show off because I mean that's how our
Play,
president is
play that again,
acting.
Sam. I didn't even. Yeah, play that again. That was so short. And he said, "F you, F you."
And there go the bird.
Then he gonna give them the bird, then wave afterwards.
No, but he cussing. Now he cussing them out.
Right? They call him. They call him. They called him a pedophile, and when they called him a pedophile, that's what he said, "F you," and then he turned around and gave him the bird.
Yeah, that's why I felt like it was like a natural response for him. He just kind of, I think that kind of rattled him because I think he wanted. I don't think he want to associate himself with the Epstein files, and so I think that's why the news stories have changed around this past week. I feel like, that's why we've been seeing so much chaos going on. and it's only just to change the narrative, but it's not going to work because you see what the American public did. But I just want to say hi to Thriving Glow with Joe. Thank you for joining us. And
What's
hey,
good,
Selena,
Private
Selena,
Glow?
Selena. Thank you guys for joining tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. And
Thank you
hit the
guys.
like button.
Thank you guys. Yes, that's a good way to start us off, Minion. He giving us the bird, and like I said, the mayor said the F bomb, and they made a big issue about the mayor saying the F bomb, but yet our president is doing it. You don't hear nothing about that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he can.
Well, he can do what he want to do.
Like I said, this is just if the president, the most powerful person in the United States, is going around flipping the bird. I mean, there's not much hope for America at this point.
Well, I have a question though. Do you feel like that's a good example for little children to watch? Because
that's what I'm saying. Like, if this is the standard that we're setting for America, then like we've already been kind of people already think we're dumb. We don't, believe in education. We're lazy, and
Yeah, they were even upset because we wasn't marching out in the streets. Other foreign countries was asking why isn't America, marching in the streets whenever Maduro got what would we call it? Abducted?
kidnapped.
Kidnapped.
Allegedly kidnapped.
If it seems pretty much like a black and white kidnapping. But but we gonna say allegedly, for the algorithm or whatever.
Allegedly.
All right, y'all. So let's look at this Hispanic woman. She dedicated her life to Trump. No, I'm joking. But let's look at this.
I'm Hispanic and I vote for Mr. Trump. We vote for Mr. Trump. Yes, Mr. Trump. We love you. We love you. All the way to the White House.
Beyond betray. They used us. They actually, during the campaign, and I don't want to make this political, but during the campaign, the elected officials from the Republican Party, they actually told us that he was not going to touch the documented people.
I will vote for Donald Trump. Let's go. Latino for Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Oh, Lord. It's sad to see because these are the same people, the people that will vote for their own demise. But
I actually feel sorry for him because they had hope, and in my mind and in my opinion, they were fugaboo. Okay, because they were told that one thing was going to happen, and now it's like it's been an attack on them also. So they had no idea that this type of chaos and disruption and distraction and really just terror. They had no idea that terror was going to rain down on them like this. So I actually kind of feel sorry for them because because at the end of the day, we all support who we support, right? And we're all happy to support whoever it is that we support, right?
Right.
And so we can't fault them for celebrating the way that they are because they're actually happy, because they really thought that they were going to get, lower taxes, lower grocery prices, affordable housing, and health insurance. They really thought they were going to get all of that. No tax on Social Security, no tax on tips. Those were the things that he campaigned on, and they're getting nothing that he promised.
And he also told them they're only going to get the illegal. He's not going to bother the ones that's civilian. I mean, United States citizens. He's not going to bother those. He stated that over and over again. We're only going after the ones that are illegal. And now they're saying that it's the opposite. So that's why I feel sorry for him, because he lied to them to a point that made them feel like, okay, you're not coming after us. You're going after only the ones that's coming over here that's not doing what we did.
Well, I will say this. It feels like you know, I don't want to sound incompassionate, but you know, at this point a lot of people are going to be effing around and finding out, and this is just the beginning. So this is actually the clip that made me name the show what I named the show, because this was like, this is actually, he's right. So let's look at this clip and we'll talk about it on the other end.
You want to know how I know we're cooked? Maduro's out of the headlines already. We kidnapped a world leader 1 week ago, and our news cycle is moving so fast. So many bad things are happening. Maduro is out of the headlines. We've moved on to, you know, ICE murders and taking over Greenland. These things that we obviously should be also spending time talking about. But how crazy it is that in 1 week, you can kidnap a world leader. 20 years ago, this would have been a news story for 10 months. We would have been talking about this for the entire year, right? And now we can't even make a week. That is crazy.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, he's right. You know, it would have been still in the news. We've been still, even though this been going on with ICE, but they still would have been talking about that for a long time. You know, what's going on with him? Why? You know, is he going to go back to Venezuela? Is he not going back to Venezuela? Is it, you know, you know, now that he's done pleaded not guilty, you know, is he still going to be charged with these charges? What's going to happen next? None of that is talked about at all.
Well, just the mere fact that we have all these incompetent people that's running the country, and at the end of the day, that's the reason why ICE is doing what they're doing, because they're incompetent also. No one mind you rounding up illegal people that entered into the country illegally. Nobody minds that. But what we do mind is when you rain terror on regular everyday citizens. And so the stories are changing, and it's always been this way. The first time that he was in office, remember, every day it was something. For the whole entire 4 years, he changed the news cycle every day, and I feel like that's what he's doing now. Like I said, once again, it's all about the Epstein's files. All roads leads to the Epstein files. No matter what happened, I feel like all of these distractions are happening because all roads lead back to Epstein.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to escape that, no matter how many presidents he tries to, abduct, kidnap, or whatever you call what he did to that president. Or how many countries he tries to overtake. I think that all roads will lead back to Epstein.
Well, then I was watching one today. They did talk about the Epstein file again. So, I don't care how much they do out here, Epstein file still going to come about. So I don't care what they do, what they say, talk about Greenland and UK and France and all this stuff. He's still going to come back to the Epstein file.
Well, let's look at this new merger with Hegseth and Elon Musk.
Thank you, Elon. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Today, we're excited to announce the next frontier AI model company to join GenAI.mil, and that is Grok from xAI, which will go live later this month. Very soon, we will have the world's leading AI models on every unclassified and classified network throughout our department.
Classified and
we will not employ
unclassified
AI models that won't allow you to fight wars. We will judge AI models on this standard alone. Factually accurate, mission relevant, without ideological constraints that limit lawful military applications. Department of War AI will not be woke. It will work for us. We're building war-ready weapons and systems, not chatbots for an Ivy League faculty lounge.
How can AI be woke?
Exactly. How can you? I mean, it's artificial intelligence that man programs. How can you say there are woke AIs and that there are AIs that don't want you to have war? Like what? Huh?
He's talking out the side of his neck because AI, like you said, it's programmed. It is programmed, and it doesn't have a mind of its own. So it's only what you program it to do. Just like anything else in the computer, you program it what you want it to do and how you want it to respond. It does not think for itself.
Exactly. A language learning model. I mean, you can
Right.
actually program the AI to whatever you want it to do, basically.
Like Elon Musk did Grok. Remember?
But let's talk about the fact that he's got Grok. The same thing that you can ask Twitter is going to be accessing classified and unclassified every file in the Pentagon database, pretty much.
And that's
that not scary?
illegal. That's illegal, very illegal. I mean, really illegal, because you don't when you put it out there in the cyber air. That's why they have cyber. That's why they have cyber protection. That's why they have people going in to check out cyber to keep from being cyber attacked, because you don't want to put that out there in this cyber out there, and then it gets in the wrong hands, and then it gets used against you. Then you got a cyber war. You got a war breaking out because you done gave out classified information that don't need to get out in the wrong hands. So I kind of don't like that at all as far as a security risk.
Well, that too. I mean, of course, it is a digital, it's through a cloud-based system. But the other thing about that is if they have access to everybody's information, even classified information, they can. What can they do with that type of information is the real
Right.
question.
You can definitely
Like,
get targeted directly, and they know. And what it is they're gonna know where everyone is at, and what everyone is doing is basically what the end game is to me, in
right.
my opinion. And
Surveillance. Like,
surveillance, yeah, 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 yeah.
And it also can
Surveillance,
it also can destroy your living conditions. Once they get into your personal information, they can use a lot of personal information. Like this is just hypothetically, allegedly. They can swipe out your say you got a credit of 800, they can swipe your credit out where you have a zero credit. It's a lot of things that they can do to destroy a person's living conditions, which is not cool.
well,
Get your personal ID and use your ID to get a credit card. That's the reason why we didn't want all this out there, because there's too much personal information that you can use against you.
or accuse you of a crime that you really didn't do.
they
Especially with the
frame it
chat box. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, and the
Exactly.
video that we have, the technology is very dangerous. Bernie Sanders was on the news this summer trying to warn us about trying to warn the administration, and they did it in the Biden administration too. They have all ever since AI has launched. Bernie Sanders have been speaking out saying that they need to regulate AI, and so there, and you keep that in mind also. There's no regulation on AI, so they can just do whatever they want to do with it at this point because Congress is not doing their job.
Right. It's not regulated, so
it's not regulated. So they can put anything they want to in there, use it for whatever nefarious reasons they want to use it, or legal reasons, legal or illegal. They can do what they want to with it at
sell that
this point.
information to the highest bidder.
That
I mean,
also, that's why I was saying when you put it in the wrong hands and be used against you, and some of that can get over to our, our enemies that they can use against us in our country. They can harm us as far as our, our finances and everything else. So you don't want to put out too much information that's personal.
right. Absolutely. And so before okay, so we're gonna keep our eyes on this little thing with Grok entering with Google AI and all this other stuff in the Pentagon, because is this a techocracy that they're trying to create? I mean, I don't know what's going on here, but you just got to keep your eye. We just got to keep our eyes out and open. Let's
Yes,
look
and
at
keep,
why.
how they say, keep your ears to the ground, keep your ears and eyes to the ground.
Yeah, make sure they're not messing with our information. But let's look at why a lot of Americans voted for Trump based on what this guy says. I mean, I'm not speaking for every American, but this is what this guy is saying.
Let me show you why an overwhelming majority of Americans voted for Donald Trump, regardless of party, because this is what we believed was going to happen.
America First will be the major and overriding theme of my administration.
Our movement is about replacing a failed and corrupt political establishment.
They're controlled fully by the lobbyists, by the donors, and by the special interests, fully.
The American people honestly believe that Donald Trump was going to put Americans first and America's interest, domestic interest first. But he could not be bought by special interest groups, by private donors, by public donors, all the above. Yet now looking back, just in 2025 alone in this administration, there has been 7 separate bills or legislation introduced, passed, or sitting on the House or Senate floor just for Israel alone. One of which that was introduced would give the IDF the same benefits as U.S. service members. Trump's administration and the Department of Government Efficiency has cut the Department of Veterans Affairs budget while simultaneously increasing Israel's budget by $10 billion. That is not America first.
We will stop racing to topple foreign regimes.
As a veteran myself, I can say that most veterans that voted for Donald Trump was specifically because of the no regime change wars, no more putting boots on the ground, no more nation building, no more taking care of other countries, focusing on America.
We do not seek war. We do not seek nation building. Go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure. We'll make the people of Venezuela rich. So we are going to run the country. We do not seek regime change, and we don't want to be the world's policeman. A place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time.
Campaign promises were made, and yet we have bombed Iran for Israel. We bombed all sorts of other places. Involved in a literal regime change war in Venezuela, not because of drugs. The drug charges are slowly dissipating on Maduro, but for Donald Trump's big oil donors.
We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism. But right now, we are going to do something on Greenland, whether they like it or not, make a deal, the easy way. But if we don't do it the easy way, we're going to do it the hard way. You vote for me, I'm saving our farmers. Most pro-farmer president that you've ever had in the White House.
Then Trump's plan to buy more beef from Argentina.
His words that wholesale cattle prices
looks like
plummeted.
we've lost around $200 a head. That would be around a $17 billion.
Many American cattle ranchers outraged. It feels like being a pawn in a game we're not going to win.
Instead, our focus must be on defeating terrorism and destroying ISIS.
And yet he has an actual ISIS terrorist in the White House shaking his hand, recognizing him here on American soil, the same man that is responsible for many American U.S. service members' deaths.
DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now.
Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. Please do not let that story go.
Has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black Book?
Black Book.
FBI.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats and some stupid Republicans.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? That is unbelievable.
Well, I mean,
well, that's what he don't want us to talk about is Epstein. And like I said before, you see all the things that he promised, including the farmers. and nobody is getting any return on their investment. The only thing he's doing is giving foreign countries money, terrorizing our neighborhoods, and really just tearing up the American economy, in my opinion.
Well, he said that he was going to help with the farmers. He was going to only deport the illegal immigrants. There was going to be no more wars. He was not going to put boots on the grounds in any other country. But yet he's doing everything opposite of what he said he wasn't going to do. He has yet to actually do something he said he was going to do in regards to the government. He said he was not going to go over in the other country. He was going. Remember, he said in 90 days he was going to stop the Ukraine and Russia war because they only listen to him. Everything he has said that he was going to do has not happened. It has not happened, and we are not first. We have not been first. He's been over in what country? He was over in saying he was going to go over to Iraq and talk with them, and he went over there and that didn't work. So he's going over to all these different countries, or he's saying he's going over these countries. They're going to only listen to him. He's going to make them stop this. He's going to make them stop that. He's going to make them give us this, and he has not come true with anything he said he's done for any of these countries. And he has not put put us first at all. You got people that's losing jobs. You got people that's trying to figure out how they're going to feed their family the next day, the insurance, tomorrow, all the things that you need to be worried about in the United States, you're not worried about. You're worried about trying to take over other countries.
While we struggling, trying to figure out how we going to, feed our families and afford groceries and be able to afford medication for the month, especially if you're on a fixed income.
And just go to the damn doctor. You're closing up hospitals, you're closing up community center clinics. Doctors are leaving, nurses are on strike in New York. And so, it's a big mess here in America. Everything is just such a mess since he's been in office. I don't see not one positive thing that he's done for the American people yet.
Don't forget the tariffs. Remember, the tariff supposed to make everybody rich in the United States. Remember, supposed to bring everything back to the United States. I haven't seen not one company come back to the United States yet.
Meanwhile, Macy's say they closing up stores. Amazon
hit the like button.
Amazon laying off workers. Over 1 million people have lost their job. He's raining terror and hate and just plain hate to the Black community. Over 100,000 Black women have lost their jobs, and the number is going up higher. It's like he's trying to bring the Black community to the lowest common denominator that he could bring them. People don't even want to perform at the Kennedy Center. And he's also going to have a cage fight for his birthday.
Cage fight for his birthday.
So how is that helping Americans?
Lord Jesus.
Oh, and don't forget, he said,
Lord have mercy.
Now he's remember, don't forget he said that he's the temporary president of Venezuela. He's running to Venezuela. He's the temporary president now.
Oh yeah. And Marco Rubio gonna run Cuba.
He must be the president of the world. I'm telling you, he gonna take Greenland, Venezuela, Cuba,
Mexico.
He about to take
Colombia.
We about to run the world. What you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're acting like a third world. I mean, we're acting like a tyrant country where we can just go and, conquer the people land. Colonialism, modern day colonialism is what he's trying to do. And why? I saw a commercial today, and I don't know if it's real or not because I haven't fact checked it or not. But I saw where he actually is going to have did y'all know he was building a new hotel and a golf course in Saudi Arabia right now as we speak?
Oh yeah, and they're trying to have some type of resort or something in Gaza. That's the reason why they're trying to clear all those people out because they need it for the real estate.
Yeah.
Well,
so
remember,
everybody gonna starve in America while he ride off in the sunset and live at one of his luxury resorts. And he already got a lot of luxury resorts here in America. But MAGA still keep giving him money so that I guess so he can keep everything going. So kudos to MAGA.
Yeah, I mean, even though the American people won't be able to benefit from those resorts in Gaza,
No, you can't even go over there and get a cup of water.
Yeah,
Not the average American can, not unless they have some Benjamins.
Well, he already had sent remember he had already posted on X, formerly known as Twitter, a picture of him as a gold statue in Gaza when they had the Gaza people as prisoners, and they supposed to been releasing, and he supposed to been having his gold statue in the center of Gaza and do the resort there, and he posted that on X, formerly known as Twitter. That's why he's going after. That was going to be next.
Yeah, well, let's see if MAGA has lost their chance to rule the world, because he's trying to do a lot in a little time, and maybe he's reached some road bumps. And so let's look at this video where this guy explains.
MAGA just lost the whole thing. The plot, the narrative, the country, the world. More than that, because of this cult leader that they've picked, who has no impulse control and can't stay on message, they sabotage the whole bipartisan pyramid scheme where the Epstein class gets to rule over the rest of us like peasants. It's all exposed. Imperialism, Zionism, white nationalism, militarism, every project that's been dividing the people of planet Earth into labor camps while they roam around without any borders, just pillaging the whole place, thinking we can't see them doing it. We see everything. Now it's only a matter of time. All of us doing our parts, swimming down, we can put this empire to sleep. So for the Magans who are still holding on, let's go over where it all went wrong. Give you a minute to shake the slime off your eyes and get oriented. You just took the whole thing out. Death for disrespecting authority as official federal policy triggered the end of any semblance of legitimacy, meaning you're no longer governing by consent. You don't deserve any tax revenues. We don't owe you any interest payments on anything because we're no longer in your debt. We certainly don't owe any more rent, especially not to just exist on our planet, and you don't have any need to see any of our papers. You have violated all your own standards, American, constitutional, Christian, and you abolished the police. There are no more federal law enforcement organizations in the United States. You have dispensed with law and order. Law requires due process, procedures, consistent regulations. Order requires prioritization of public safety, de-escalation and conflict resolution, and most important, public accountability. All we can see now is an Aryan corporate crime ring occupying our federal buildings under false pretenses, having lied about every reason they wanted to hold office when they were elected by less than a third of eligible voters, the other 2/3 not wanting to touch any of you guys with a 10-foot pole. And don't worry that this is just going to keep going on repeat anymore, because the corporate Democrat Party, it's also over and done. As Ta-Nehisi Coates told them, if they can't stand up to genocide, why should we believe they could stand up for democracy? All those gatekeepers do is summarize current events, then ask for donations.
Exactly.
AIPAC, the fossil fuel and weapons industries haven't paid them enough. Palestine was the moment any illusion of their respect for a rules-based order completely collapsed. We see them too in flagrant breach of what was left of any social contract, failing even now to deny unanimous consent, demand some roll calls, use any of the vast powers at their disposal to shut down the federal government, which is the least you can do if a so-called public official threatens absolute immunity to assassinate any citizen anytime for, let's see if this rings a bell, freely assembling to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Yeah, grinding the federal government to a halt would be the very moderate position if expressing the liberties guaranteed by the Bill of Rights now, according to you guys, makes someone a domestic terrorist. A label made even more meaningless, having been applied to moms and teachers, students, people who were working on a roof. or at a department store, any excuse to just snatch bodies off the streets and fill for-profit concentration camp quotas, while threatening to invade every smaller country on earth because our ruling class isn't rich enough yet. This isn't impressive. It's not convincing. And it doesn't matter if your favorite goose-stepping billionaire who bought Twitter tweets at us 500 more times every day. 167 million people, 2/3 of this country, are seeing through all of this now. You have made everything a joke. Oh, sorry, billionaire Twitter guy's about to be a trillionaire. A trillion of what? Federal Reserve notes? Nobody even wants to trade in your currency anymore. Everything with your fingerprints on it, it's all going to the lab. So take a seat and let's go over what's going to happen next. First of all, there is no scenario where you win. You don't even know what winning looks like because cults need permanent enemies. So even winning is losing because you're eventually just going to eat yourself. So here's how you kick the ball into your own goal. In the last few months, you've got huge majorities in polls done in Lancet and other actual reputable polls showing that masses of people have now been de-radicalized, realizing we're all human beings, that we actually have the freedom to move wherever we want to on our planet anytime we want. You know what? We can speak whatever language we feel like, and we're all the chosen people, chosen to be here on all the land, which is all holy. And a few pedophiles can't claim to own entire islands, and that includes Turtle Island. Yeah, you can't own continents. They're ours, like the whole family ours, like how the soil is ours, the air, the water, the food, the sun power, the wind. Let me say it again. All of us have the right to move around this whole place as much as a bug, a bird, or a breeze. And we do have the wisdom to figure out how to share. Nobody buys this liberal versus conservative 1984 endless war garbage that you're pumping out on the airwaves with debates about whether or not murder is okay and then cutting to commercial. You aren't news. You've woken up a critical mass of us who can see it's never been left versus right. It's always been up versus down. Everybody knows that you're all Epstein-class propaganda outlets, including the one I'm talking to you on right now. And it's only a matter of time before we migrate our social network data into publicly owned platforms with user-controlled algorithms. Every single institution run by the pedo ring protectors, from CNN, Goldman Sachs to the New York Times, Visa and MasterCard, still claiming to own our currency and charging us to use it, thinking you can stick cameras on all of us, digital IDs? You have lost the game. The illusion has completely been dispelled. It's vanished. In that whiplash you gave us, abandoning free markets, limited government, states' rights, don't tread on me, and then you bowed down and begged for even bigger, dumber boots on your faces, total submissives, sending in your worst, the rapists, the thieves, and murderers, to step on everything you pretended was sacred, the Bible, the Constitution, the graves of your Confederate ancestors, just destined to relive the same mistakes like ghosts in some eternal hell. The thing that you've always wanted most, you have lost. Authority. You don't have any anymore. You've lost everything. And the rest of us, we're good. We're you could say woke. We touched some grass and now we're ready to get something to eat. Having put everything into building a life here on this planet, we don't want another world war over nothing. After the carnage of the last one, a catastrophe that you're trying to repeat for humanity to survive and thrive, the greatest scientist that ever lived, Albert Einstein, he laid out what we need to do to, quote, overcome and advance beyond the predatory phase of human development that you're still stuck in. He said we needed to get a new education, one that in addition to helping the individual promote their own innate abilities, would attempt to develop in them a sense of responsibility for our fellows, to replace the glorification of power and success that all of our wisdom traditions have warned against. Or as another poet once said more simply, looking at that same carnage of the last World War, that it is the job of thinking people not to be on the side of the executioner. So for thinking people, this is the time to do our part and be the person that the real history books wrote about, the ones that we needed when we were kids, that our children need us to be now, that our descendants need us to be now. If you have any money in savings or retirement or investments at all, get every penny out of it that you can from the American banks that are financing this monstrosity. Remove any investments from the Fortune 1000 profiting off of this madness. De-Google, dump Amazon, reach out to your neighbors, your friends. Let's prepare for the strikes. We're pulling all support from the crime syndicate. We need to get educated and prepare to mobilize against the machine. We saw what we just did working together. New York is about to provide childcare to 2-year-olds. That wasn't so hard, was it? We can do a lot more if we come together. And right now, if you are one of the rare few so fortunate to have the means and you're working in a job that's not contributing to putting this empire of extraction to sleep, please return to what lit the sparks in your heart when you were a child. That is your guiding light. Reach out to a friend. Start organizing. What is calling us all right now is so much greater than old illusions of nations and tribes, and we are one human family. As our doctor once prescribed, we will either go up together or we will go down together. We've already won. Everybody knows what to do. Let's get to work.
Wow, well said.
I know, right? It was a lot to take in at one time, but
yeah, that was powerful. That was very powerful.
Yeah, I mean, we know that the Democrats.
Yes, it was. I mean,
go ahead. We know the Democrats are.
It was powerful.
Elite.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, I was just saying it was very powerful, very, very deep, and it really make you think. Really make you sit down and really think about what's really going on. I really like it.
Yes, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's not Democrats versus Republicans. It's the rich versus the poor. You know, the powerful versus the people, the regular people. And
right.
If we were to take all of our money out of the banking systems, if we were to really withdraw from, retail chains and, these investment stock, whatever you call it, all this stuff, they would crumble.
Exactly.
So I don't think a lot of people don't understand that we really do have what power we really do have. So that was a good.
Yeah, it's like we're helping power our own downfall.
Right. Absolutely.
We're contributing to that. Meanwhile, other people that's not seeing this for what it is still waiting on the $2,000 check. I like this comment that 2 Cent Gorilla put up here. He said they're waiting on the $2,000 check. He forgot. He told them he was gonna give them from the tariffs, and I'm gonna add the tariffs on there because that's where it's supposed to come from. Remember, he said he was gonna take the tariff money and give everybody a $2,000 check. Well, when he was asked about it again, he forgot all about that. He told people he was going to give that $2,000 check, which everyone knew when he said it that it wasn't going to happen anyway. But that's just where we are, and people definitely need to wake up and really figure out what's really going on. Stop all this hate and trying to hate each other. And everybody really need to try to come together if they want to save this democracy. If we like living the way we used to live prior to him being in office, and I'm talking about freedom.
I want ICE agents coming up to your house. They about to start knocking on doors now.
Yeah, because they have access. They got the software now where they can actually locate people. They got everybody's data.
Oh, Ring is partnering with some new digital company that works with ICE to provide them data to be able to find y'all too. So
and let me just say this too: that new AI that Pete Hegseth was talking about. Guess who they're going to use for that? That Grok is going to take care of that, i.e., Elon Musk. Right. So everybody can keep being happy about Elon Musk having all their information and having all this power. And it's just real funny to me Elon Musk is an African from Africa. He's an Afrikaner from Africa. And they're letting they talk about all these immigrants. Well, I don't see any other immigrant getting the American public's information, personal
The first
information.
lady is an immigrant. I mean, the
Right.
whole damn administration is filled with fucking immigrants.
Exactly. But I'm just saying, do you know any other high-powered immigrant that has your personal data as an American citizen? Because really, that's what the big issue is with
Well, that's what
everyone.
I'm saying. The fact that everybody who is MAGA is supposed to be American first,
Yeah.
white supremacy,
Right.
white nationalism and all of the other stuff. But
Yeah.
the entire administration is tied up with immigrants.
That part.
Trump
And married to immigrants.
and
Most of them
married.
married to immigrants. Stephen Miller married to an
Trump,
immigrant. Donald Trump is married to an immigrant. J.D. Vance is married to an immigrant. Elon Musk is an immigrant. So, hell, even Mitch McConnell is married to one. So,
yeah. So
it's all in. You got immigrants all through the administration. Those that we know of and those that we know not of is in the
So the ones that's talking about America first and white power and all of the other stuff, guess what? Immigrants is running your ass. Immigrants is making a decision for your dumb ass.
Making a fool out of you.
Again, you're gonna be like they think they different from them Latino people that was just praising Donald Trump. That's what they got things misconstrued. So let's talk about
that's why they FAFO around.
Yeah, so let's talk about DHS and this alleged Nazi messaging that they are promoting right now. So I got this from Twitter. So we're gonna listen to this guy plead his case, and y'all let me know what y'all think on the other side.
So we need to talk about the Trump administration using straight up Nazi propaganda. And I'm not saying this to be hyperbolic. They are ripping straight from the pages of the Nazi playbook. They are basically taking Nazi propaganda posters and redoing them to promote their administration. And I'm not going to self-censor myself and say Yahtzee or whatever to try to get through the algorithms, but boost this just in case TikTok tries to take it down. Here's a post that was just made by the U.S. Department of Labor. It says, remember who you are. One homeland, one people, one heritage. Remember who you are, American. Well, if this looks and sounds a little Nazi-ish to you, that's because it is taken literally from a famous Hitler phrase. Here's one of the many posters that were throughout Nazi Germany. This one says, one people, one realm, one leader. You can see it right here. It is basically a direct rip. And this is far from a one-off thing. They continuously do this. Here's a recent post from the Department of Homeland Security. It says, we'll have our home again. And you see this image right here. Well, the lyric, we'll have our home again, is a direct rip from this song that is associated with these white nationalist Nazi groups. This is an anthem that white nationalists sing. Oh, did you think I was done? Because there's more. There was this post from a few months ago from the Department of Homeland Security, a heritage to be proud of, a homeland worth defending, American progress, John Gast. Well, I'm telling you right now that there is no coincidence that this has exactly 14 words and that the letters H and H are capitalized. And so why do I highlight the fact that it's exactly 14 words? Well, 14 words refers to a white supremacist slogan coined that says we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. So when they are putting 14 words, that is coded language to other white nationalists and Nazis. And the capital HH, that's a nod to this phrase right here. And then all the other propaganda posters that they post aren't even anywhere near subtle. You can see right here, a dream worth fighting for. And you see the images that they use of these white families. Imagery promoting Uncle Sam and ICE saying, deport all foreign invaders, posting posters like this. And so I know there's a whole lot going on with this regime, but the fact that they are getting away with this without really any attention from mainstream or corporate media really is just so mind-blowing to me. We're going to continue to call it out, spread the word, and follow for more.
Well, do y'all think there was something to that?
Exactly. All under our noses, right in our face.
Mm-hmm.
Right in our face. And people not paying attention. And, he did say he liked low educated voters. And so the reason why you would want a low educated voter, because you know they're not going to read anything, they're not going to pay attention, and a lot of times they're not that open minded. So you have to be open minded um, to really understand what's really going on. You need to look at both sides of everything. Everything is not just one sided, and the beauty of it all is he got everybody pitted against each other. You stay in your corner, I stay in my corner, and we both gonna fight from each corner, and that's really how all of this mess can get started, and that's how we can become um, under one dictator. That's how dictatorships start. Is to pit everybody against each other, have two
So
classes.
they distracted.
Yeah,
Why
have two
you?
classes. Either you're extremely rich or you're extremely poor, and basically, slowly but surely, that's what is that's what the wheel is turning to be, and people not really realizing it, and they're going to be like Germany. And one day we're going to wake up and we're not going to be able to do anything, say anything, and our way of life is going to totally change if people don't wake the hell up, in my opinion, allegedly.
Well, he did say, remember throughout his campaign, he said, "I do like Hitler." He kept saying, "I like Hitler. I like the way Hitler ran the country. I like Hitler." He said, he liked the way Putin running his country. He said, "I like to follow behind dictators. I like the way dictators operate." So he's telling you this is what he wants to be, a dictator of the United States.
Right.
I mean, so far, everything he say he's going to do that's not going to help America, that's going to help him, he has so far done.
Well, let me just add a little extra context to this whole Nazi um, thing that they say that this administration is promoting.
We need to talk about this press conference, not Secretary Puppy Killer or even what she said, but the sign that she stood in front of. One of ours, all of yours. This is a slogan for collective punishment that has been used by many fascist regimes, most notably, obviously, by the Nazis. When Reinhard Heydrich, one of the architects of the Holocaust, was assassinated in 1942, Nazis retaliated by destroying the entire Czech town of Lidice. Residents were suspected of harboring resistors, and even though that wasn't true, Nazis razed the entire village to the ground. On June 9th, 1942, all 172 boys and men from ages 14 to 84 were shot. The women and children were deported to concentration camps and murdered there. This is where the slogan, "One of ours, all of yours," comes from. It's not an accident that Kristi Noem is standing behind this sign. It's a warning that an attack on a federal officer, in this case, an ICE agent, will result in aggressive retaliation against the party deemed responsible. In the eyes of the modern GOP, it means that one of ours is worth more than all of yours. One ICE agent is worth more than all the protesters, all the resistors, all the immigrants. For the record, collective punishment, which is targeting a group of innocent civilians for the actions of one person, is a war crime. The Trump administration is signaling what's next. This doesn't end at undocumented immigrants. That was the starting point. This ends with everyone who disagrees with them.
One of ours, all of yours. I didn't even notice that until I saw that video. I was like, wait a minute.
Until you brought that, until you just said, shown this, I didn't even pay that no mind, really, to be honest with you. But it's something to think about.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very intentional. There's no coincidence that that's what she stood in front of, giving her speech protecting ICE. So you guys can take it for what y'all want to take it for, but they're gonna show you the signs before. It's up to you to determine what you're gonna do with it. Let's go.
That part.
Now let's get into some ICE stuff. So that was a little conspiracy theory stuff, but I don't think it's very conspiracy theorist because it seems to be very accurate.
That part.
But we're gonna talk about ICE now. So let's get into ICE attacking people at the Minnesota high school.
Just hours after a federal agent fatally shot a woman in her vehicle, we captured these scenes at Roosevelt High School, a few miles away.
The first thing I see is 6 or 7 or 8 SUVs parked in the street, people in, military fatigues, essentially, in masks. There were lots of yelling, whistling. It was really chaotic.
It was around 3:30 p.m. Classes had been dismissed and students were trickling out of school.
We were in a staff meeting talking about the shooting that happened earlier in the day. Another staff member came in and informed us within about 5 or 10 minutes of that meeting starting that the agents were outside.
Teacher Nick Wilson ran out and started filming on his phone. One student said she fled the scene after seeing agents emerging from their cars.
We see them tackle teachers on the floor, and that's when I was like, oh my God. I ran because I was scared for my life.
In a statement to the New York Times, the Department of Homeland Security said agents were chasing a U.S. citizen who they said had rammed his vehicle into a government vehicle before driving and stopping in a school zone. DHS said that it was not targeting the school, its students, or its staff. The Times independently confirmed that one educator was detained by federal agents and has since been released.
It made me not want to come back to school no more because it's so terrifying. So yeah, that's how I feel.
Minneapolis Public Schools told the Times the incident is currently under investigation and that all MPS schools are closed until Monday out of an abundance of caution.
I'm still kind of in shock that that was something that happened at this place. I've called home for the last 14, 15 years of my life.
Yeah, so that's one of the clips from the high school, and I think this is from the same high school, but this is another clip. It may not be, it may be a separate high school incident, but I'm hoping that they're not out here ravaging all the high schools. So let's look at this clip real quick, and then we can talk about it on the other side.
There are children here. This is a school. This is a school. You are at a school on school property. There are children at school. Arresting a teacher at a school. Yes, Christina, we'll call your mom.
Christina, we'll call your mom.
This has all been documented, Christina.
This is a white woman that's getting
Not
arrested.
just going after brown people now, white people.
They hate everyone.
They think they exempt, but they're not.
They hate freedom.
So y'all heard that man say, this is not even a black person. This is not a brown person. This is one of them.
Yeah.
So
Renee Good was one of them. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Anybody can catch it with this administration. No one is safe at this point, in my opinion.
Nobody.
And this is a school, the first one, this is a different school, but both of them are high schools in that area, Minion. Both of them are high schools in that area, but the first one was Minneapolis High School, and then Roosevelt, and then this one. And they are going to the schools and going in the schools. Here in Maryland, I have a girlfriend that works for the Maryland schools. They are told to lock all the schools in Maryland are locking all the doors, even in DC, where our doors are locked now, so they just can't walk in the schools. So that's how bad it's got.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Let's continue.
They broke her window. They pulled her out of her car. They have tear gas around children.
That's because she ran my vehicle. No, I was right in front of her. You rammed her vehicle.
You rammed her vehicle. It's all documented. The record will show you are domestic terrorists.
She was turning into school and you ran in front of her.
You are domestic terrorists.
I will witness this. I will witness every moment of this.
Thought she was brown, but she's white. Why is she being detained? Nope. I have it on video on my dash cam. You guys rammed her.
Can you upload it? Can you upload it? I will hold your phone if you upload it now before it gets deleted. They have ways of deleting things.
It's like saved to a server.
Okay. It's documented and uploaded.
Yeah.
Get it uploaded as soon as possible. These people are going to come.
And if you're just coming in, guys, this is ICE arresting a Caucasian U.S. citizen who happens to also be a teacher.
And they're saying that the reason that they're detaining her or arresting her because she rammed their car, but you see their cars is in the back of her. So, put it two and two together on your own.
Even if that's true, they don't have jurisdiction over cities. They're not supposed to enforce laws that the local law enforcement is supposed to enforce. And so if that's the case, they supposed to call the police because they're not really authorized to do traffic violations. That's not what they're there for.
No, they don't supposed to deal with it. They don't supposed to deal. ICE was developed back when 9/11 happened for them to assist custom control in regards to the border, not and for any immigrants that have got past the border control, so they can bring them back to the border for them to send them back. That's illegal, but they're not here to patrol the domestic streets. And that's for the officers, the state, the county, the city, the villages, whatever. The local police are for that. They are not licensed for local policing of the streets.
Amber, call Dennis. Education Minnesota has resources for this. These are outside agitators, not from Minnesota. They're here to cause chaos. This is what they want.
Hey, why are you filming us, buddy? All right, fuck you.
And they're not even trying to conduct an investigation at all.
They
just
filming
there.
them. Yeah, filming.
Yeah, they just standing there because they don't know what to do in this situation.
And second of all, that's you don't supposed to use your phone to film anything. You're supposed to have body cams, which they are not given because they say they don't have the budget to give them that. But they have budgets to give them $50,000 to sign up, but they don't have a budget to give them a body cam. Okay, y'all make that make sense.
Christina is being taken away. She's in that SUV. She's being kidnapped by ICE. Christina is
kidnapped by ICE.
She said kidnapped.
You're a pussy American hating piece of shit. Fuck you, dude. Nobody, every fucking Minnesotan speaking does not want you here and fucking hate you. Know that every person you broke her window, drug her out of her car.
You are domestic terrorists. You are kidnapping American citizens. We will witness it.
This is a school. What are you doing here this morning?
And they about to leave that car there.
We are observing.
Because they don't know how to conduct an investigation.
And if you notice that every time they go up to the car, the first thing they do is break everybody's windows. Have you noticed that every vehicle they go up to, they break the windows? They break the windows. Every vehicle we have seen video of, they run up to the vehicle. The first thing they do is start breaking the windows. Break the windows.
Yep. And now we got a Black U.S. citizen that was detained, and yet this one was left stranded to walk back in the snow to wherever the fuck they picked him up from. So let's get into this video. Ain't much to really say, because at the end of the day, what if we all just start saying, you know what, we gonna wear masks. We gonna wear full body fatigue and mask our damn self, and everybody just start walking around with mask and body fatigue. We can all play that game.
And I never expected to be standing in front of all these cameras and microphones. But what happened to me cannot stay quiet. What happened to me was unjust, uncalled for. I was simply on my lunch break. I literally went downstairs from my building. I wasn't even outside for mere seconds before I seen a masked person running at me full speed. He tackled me, pushed me inside the restaurant, like as you can see in the video. I told him I'm a U.S. citizen. What is going on? He didn't seem to care. He dragged me outside through the snow while I was handcuffed, restrained, helpless, and he pushed me to the ground and he put me in a chokehold. And that was very uncalled for. I thought I got really hurt. And after that, they put me inside the vehicle. And they asked me, we have to verify if you're a U.S. citizen because I believe you're an illegal citizen because you ran from me. But as you can see in the videos that will be released, I'm simply just standing still. I asked them, okay, they said, let me take a picture of you to scan your face to see if you're a U.S. citizen. I declined because how will a picture prove I'm a U.S. citizen? I told him I have my passport. It's in my phone. Can I open and show you? He declined. I told him, can I give you my name and my date of birth? He declined because they turned off my phone. They turned off my location. They don't, you don't know where you're at. So I asked them, can you take me back to where you picked me up from? They said, no, you have to walk in the snow. They were being serious. I asked 3 times. They said, no, you're walking. But eventually my parents came and picked me up. And yeah, all I did was step outside as a Somali American, and I just got chased by a masked person. The agent then, at one point, he didn't identify himself. He didn't say, ICE, stop. I felt like I was getting assaulted. I was getting kidnapped, and that's exactly what it was. And the way they were treating me, it was inhumane. They dragged me across the road. They slammed me to the ground, choked me. That was uncalled for. There's also more videos of someone came out. They had a copy of my passport. And I told the agent, he has my passport copy. And he said, we don't care. We're still taking you in. And they kept me for 2 hours. And if this is what's happening to a U.S. American citizen on camera, imagine what could happen to your loved ones when there's no one around to witness what they're doing.
I apologize that this happened to you in my city with people wearing vests that say police. That's embarrassing. But what really gets me is that this is just one story today.
Yeah, guys. So that's a guy who was, albeit, Somali, but a U.S. citizen nonetheless, and showed his passport. They didn't care. And I saw what happened to him. So is this okay is this what the American people who wanted to see all the immigrants go away, is this what they voted for?
I don't think they care. I think they'll justify whatever ICE and Agent Orange does. I think it's justified until it hit home. And I have been seeing a lot of people saying, they're no longer with MAGA, because a few things hit home. And a
Right.
lot of times people will justify whatever action because, they're on their side. And, they'll go along, they'll get along to go along, and they'll go along with whatever happens, and they'll just say, well, that's what I voted for. I'm okay with that. It's, I don't mind until, it happened to one of their family members. And then I feel like that's the only way a lot of people will have a change of heart.
Right.
And the only way that people possibly could change their mind. But even with that, we show videos, of that family where the mom and the father is MAGA and the kids are not.
Mm-hmm.
And
They were
remember
willing to let their kids die
yes.
for Donald Trump. So
Yeah.
it
So
gets deep with the MAGA people,
yeah,
and
it get real deep with the MAGA people. And
yeah.
so, the families have broken up. They can't come to Thanksgiving. They can't come to Christmas. They can't come to the anniversary party, baby. They can't come to the barbecues. They can't come, And it's
weddings,
all over
anything.
politics, and that is crazy. Politics should never break up you and your family. I don't care what side of the aisle you on. And I just couldn't imagine my family not allowing me to come around because of my political beliefs. But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
like,
MAGA go
you
MAGA.
know,
That's one thing about them. They definitely go MAGA.
Right.
So
yeah, they do. They do have a YouTube channel where they say I'm not MAGA. They say they're no longer MAGA. There are a lot of people are coming on there testifying about now. You know, they're seeing because it's touching home. A lot of people are losing their farms. A lot of people are losing their benefits. A lot of people are losing, you know, not getting any help with their medication, and
Their
it's now
job.
starting to affect some of the MAGAs, their jobs. So a lot of some of the MAGAs are out here that are suffering. You know, you got the MAGAs that don't care. They're probably sitting at the house eating bonbons or eating candy and don't care.
Roman
They
noodles.
don't care to work. Yeah, don't care to work. You know, them the ones that's probably on here on the computer all damn
boiled
day,
chicken with
trolling.
no
With a bowl,
seasoning.
wait, with a bowl
Right.
of with a bowl of ramen noodles on the side of eating ramen noodles and tuna fish and shit,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then getting
Right.
online spewing all this bullshit online. Meanwhile, a whole dictatorship is happening. The whole
Right,
world
forming
crumbling
around
down.
Everything falling apart around them, and they sitting back
Yeah,
going, "Okay, I'm eating my
yeah.
Roman noodles."
Wait a minute, half of their family getting deported.
Right.
getting as the man said in the video, the woman said in the video, getting kidnapped by ICE.
Well,
And so
let's talk about the
Get
fact
kidnapped,
that
taken somewhere, and then putting them back out in the snow. Get home the
right.
best way you can.
But homeboy told his story though. I know you wanted to say turn the corner minion, but I just want to give kudos to this young man. He was very articulate. He told his story. You could tell he's traumatized because he did not miss not one beat. He told us scene
hmm
by scene, action by action, and minute by minute what had happened to him.
play by play, right? He
Right.
knew it
Play
down
by
to
play, baby.
that's trauma. That's called trauma right there. Um, but no, we were talking about the family values or the family units that have been broken because of the MAGA ideology. But I think one of the other leading things that MAGA like to say is that they're very Christian. They have those Christian values. They believe in God, and Jesus Christ is the Savior, and all this other stuff. Well, this is what ICE is doing to your local pastor, and so I'm kind of curious to know if this is acceptable behavior when it's targeted to a man of the cloth.
Step back.
Oh, wait a minute. This is not the right shot. You know what? Hold on. I think I actually didn't need I need to put the right video in. But while I do that, actually, I'm not gonna do it right now. I'm gonna skip to this ex-Marine and we'll watch the pastor a little later.
They said, "Have you not learned? This is why we killed that lesbian bitch."
Can you tell us what happened to you?
So first off, I'm a United States Marine veteran. We were following them from a safe distance.
Following ICE agents.
Yep, following ICE agents. They stopped in the middle of the road and reversed on 62. They tried to ram our car. They broke my window. They yanked me out by my neck. They threw me to the ground. They stomped on me. They pushed my face into the ground. They put the cuffs on as tight as possible to the point where it took 6 agents to try to get them off.
Okay, so they break the window. They haul you out. They're stomping on you. They're beating you. As they're doing this, are they saying anything?
Yeah, they were calling me a bunch of derogatory names, calling me it. They tried to break my ankle. When he turned my ankle all the way around, I screamed, and he said, "Yeah, I bet you like that, don't you?" I took an oath, and it's the oath that they're spitting on and stomping on, and this isn't Germany. They're Nazis. They're Gestapo. They think that they're above the law. They don't care.
Well, that was also a very clear recollection of the events. So,
Right. I feel sorry for him. I really do. My heart breaks for him, to even have to go through that travesty and tragedy for no reason at all. And, he a veteran. What the hell?
Yeah, she's a veteran. And the thing that gets me is I just been saying they breaking out the windows. What did she say? First thing they said, they broke out her windows, grabbed her by her neck, snatched her out. This is what it's getting to. They breaking the windows out. You can't, I was telling my son, I'm afraid to follow behind a vehicle too close because I don't know if it's an ICE person in front of me or not. And I might be too close and they think I'm following, jump out and start, beating me up or snatching me out or taking me somewhere, because this is how bad it's got. You can't even be behind them, might be minding your own business. But in their head, it's going to be justified that you were following them and they can either beat you up or shoot you. This is how bad it's gone to a point they're justifying everything that they're doing.
yeah.
And they got the machine to back them up.
And she said that the man said, "Hey, you haven't learned yet," or something along those lines. And so, here's another video that I came across where this man is actually saying it on camera.
Shame on you.
Listen, have y'all not learned from the past couple of days? Have you not learned?
Learned what? What's our lesson here? What do you want us to learn?
Following federal agents.
Give me my
I mean, I guess that's what we need to learn.
Oh, so you can't film anymore? You can't ride around in your car? But I agree with him. I don't feel like you ought to follow them. Because, that's, you have to protect your safety and use, some sensibility. And you are seeing things that go on. And I know that they want to film them. But, wow. It's like you're stuck between a rock and a hard spot,
Because if you don't film them, you don't have any
proof
or evidence. You don't know where they take these people. A lot of times, if no one knows that they've been abducted or where they took them, it's like you're in between a rock and a hard place because you want to protect yourself and your own security and safety, but if you don't do anything, then, which is what they want, they will just continue to build this I don't know what this is, dictatorship regime. All right, so before we get out, we're gonna just talk about if it's really hard, because everybody keeps labeling, like the poor little mother who got shot in the head, they label her as a domestic terrorist. Like, really? Like, in regular people now, teachers, judges, all these people are now labeled as terrorists. Let's look at this video because maybe it'll make it a little clear for everybody who don't know what a terrorist is.
It's crazy to me how divided we are on this issue. It's like half of y'all ain't ever seen Star Wars or a Disney movie. How do you not fucking know which side to root on? Look, let's go ahead and take a quiz. Which is more likely to be a domestic terrorist? The woman who's probably got 15 cats and writes poetry on the side and has a puppy dog in the back seat of her car and is just protesting watching families get ripped apart? Or is it the group of men driving an unmarked big-ass pickup truck wrapped in camouflage and body armor, wearing masks and carrying guns, running around screaming and threatening folks and pointing guns at people and killing people? Which to you seems like the obvious goddamn threat, you fucking ignorant?
Okay. Wow.
You got mad. mad.
I think it was appropriate though. I mean, come on now, like we should not be litigating whether or not this woman was in the right or wrong. We all saw the same video, and the fact that we are divided on this is it's actually pretty scary to think that there are people out in the world who would condone a woman trying to flee the scene and getting shot in the head, and not by a criminal,
Mm-hmm.
by a law enforcement agent.
Wow.
And it's getting to a point that is, it's not so much of okay. They're not doing what their job, their mission is. Their mission is to go out here and to collect, undocumented immigrants, illegal immigrants that's dealing with, crime and stuff like that. But now you're just going out here doing anything to anybody. It's not even, they're not even doing their mission statement. That's what you supposed to swear. Once you do that swear in, you're supposed to uphold it, just like everybody in the military. The military can't go out here and do all that stuff they doing. Not one military person can go out here and do in the country what the ICE agents are doing. Not one. Not a colonel, not a general. None of them can go out there. The police department can't go out there and do stuff that they're doing.
Let me tell you something, and they would never do the stuff that they were doing if they weren't fully armed to the max with a gang of other people behind.
Right.
Put them out on the street.
Total advantage, and
Put them out on the streets by
Right.
themselves in regular clothing without
Right.
all the extra weapons, and they are pussy.
Right. And they
So-
and Cosmic Black U.S. right. He said that or she said, MAGA, you're not invincible. You're on the same land as you're playing a dangerous, dumb game, and you're not outnumbered. People are going to start joining ICE and turn on ICE.
Hello. Didn't I say we need to infiltrate ICE?
Yeah, you did
I
say
said
that.
people need to infiltrate that motherfucker.
Well, you ain't the only one thinking that way.
See? So y'all
Great
playing a
minds
dangerous
think alike.
game.
Great
Y'all
minds think
think-
alike.
Right.
They think they got a leg up, but they
Right.
forget this is America. We can now put in the application.
There you go. And they not vetting anybody, so anybody
Right.
can get anybody can join.
Yeah.
They're not doing any background checks at all. From I saw a video earlier today. I've been trying to get it so I can submit it for us for tonight.
Gestapos don't need a background check.
But what they're doing is they have had people that say, I don't like the right or the left. If they don't like them, and this person even showed that they even put on the application that they do weed. They have been arrested for drug addiction and drug this and drug that. And they sent them a letter and said they was accepted. And they said, stand by for
But what
a
do you
letter.
expect? Hold them up. What do you expect? If you got a criminal in the White House, wouldn't you want other criminals work for you?
That's true.
When you hire your boys.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying. That they were saying that they filled out the application with all that on there just to see how they would respond. And they told them they was hired and they would get back with them where they can meet up for their training. And then another person said that they didn't fill the application out all the way, and they was even hired with ICE to be an ICE agent, and told them they would get back with them when they need to go and meet with them and start their training. So this tells you that we got a bunch of people running around here that is, like she said, not vexed, and they're doing these things, and they're not educated. They're not doing a background check. They're not running it through federal government. And one video, remember we was looking at the guy that was an Uber driver, and he asked him, "What's your name?" And it said C20. That's the name they have on them. They have an initial and a number. They don't only have a name on them as identification. It's a C20. He said, that's a he said that's your
Periodic
name,
element off the periodic table.
right? And this is the stuff that they walk around, so you can't dox them or vex them because they don't have an actual name. All you see is a letter and a number. So you got C20 walking around here arresting somebody.
Welcome to the modern day KKK.
And that's who's and you know what? Somebody brought this up, and they are so right when they said this. A lot of people may wonder why aren't MAGA, because they're all in everybody's comment section and all on social media, but why aren't they out there with the ICE agents? And you know what, the truth of the matter is that supporting the ICE agents and going against the MAGA, the left people or whatever they want to call them. The reason is because they are ICE, the KKK, all the people out there that are in our chats and the things like that, because they ain't doing nothing right now. They're ICE agents, allegedly. But let's look at this law enforcement agent or officer. I'm sorry, and he's going to speak on the ICE shooting, and then we can talk about that.
A tragic but predictable event that happened in Minneapolis, Minnesota, of all places. I saw the same video you saw, different angles. When you have federal agents with no markings on the vehicle, masked, which we've talked about for months, engage a 37-year-old female, giving verbal orders to either get out of the vehicle or maybe told to park the vehicle. But as she was backing up and turned the vehicle tires to the right, 3 shots were fired by another agent who was not run over, did not appear to be hit, and wasn't even in the path of where the vehicle was going, fired 3 shots, 2 of which were as the vehicle was driving away. Law enforcement is held to the highest standard when it comes to deadly force. It's called the force continuum. We are there to escalate as force escalates and de-escalate as force de-escalates. Instantaneous. The burden falls on law enforcement. We can't shoot people that are running away. We can't shoot people who have a gun but aren't pointing it at anybody. And we certainly can't shoot when you're not in danger. And I didn't see that. I saw the opposite. In fact, what else I saw that was stunning is as the victim drove away and she crashed into the back of a vehicle, clearly shot, there was no attempt for life-saving measures. We had a shooting just a few years ago where 2 of my deputies, another agency, engaged an individual who had already killed 2 people. He shot at the cops. They returned fire, put him down, and my 2 deputies ran back to their cruiser, got their trauma kits, and came back to try to save the life of the guy who just tried to kill them. I didn't see anybody had a body cam. I saw people leave the scene instead of holding it down. I don't care where you are, law enforcement. When there's a shooting, you hold the scene down. It is a fatal situation, so it can be investigated. This is what breaks down the trust of law enforcement across the board. Everybody pays a price for what you just saw. That's why public trust is so important. We've been preaching this and saying this, that when you have the authority over people and it's used as a weapon, not a tool, it hurts all of us. And that's what's happened. And I will tell you, this does not define all of law enforcement. As I said, ironically, during the George Floyd moments out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, that incident did not define who law enforcement is as a profession. We're better than that.
Amen. This is what I've been saying. I said that.
Yes, and he definitely basically said everything that every law enforcement agency should be saying right now. But what do you got? What you think?
Well, I think he said, her whole earful. But of course, it goes in one ear and out the other ear because certain people don't want to hear. They only want to hear what they want to hear. And
Right.
it just, all these Christian nationalists and quote unquote.
Right.
I don't, I know the Bible do have a lot of killing. There's a lot of killing in the Bible. However, that was, mostly in the Old Testament, and we're supposed to be going by the New Testament. And you said the same thing, about you said something about Christians a while ago. And so, everybody's, MAGA say that they're Christian, they believe in the Lord, and they want salvation, and they even went as far to say that Trump was the Messiah. I don't, if you're a Messiah, I don't think you want to rain terror on people. Jesus didn't try to kill anybody. Jesus was nothing but nice to people and tried to help people and try to uplift people. And to me, MAGA is totally opposite of what a real Christian would actually do. It's like they get a kick out of people being destroyed. They get a kick out of people being in pain, and they definitely get a kick out of having power and raining terror on people. Seem like that's the goal to me.
Yeah,
Also,
because I mean,
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Also, if remember I was saying back, you do not leave a scene of a crime. Once you shooting is involved, you do not leave the scene of a crime. Once he finished doing what he's doing, they got in their vehicle and departed from the location. They didn't do nothing. They didn't do it. Just stand there and see. Then they check to see if she was still alive. Then check to see if the EMS got there. The ambulance came to her. Didn't see if anything. They just did what they're going to do and turn around and roll away. I thought y'all was there to push a car out of the snow. One, you said that they was there to impede. She was impeding them from doing their duty. So why didn't you go and finish doing your duty? Why did you get in your vehicle and depart the area? Then she said, Newman said that they was there to push an ICE vehicle out of the snow. Well, why after you finished shooting her, why didn't you go and finish getting the car out of the snow? No, because that's not what they was there for. They was there because they was mad because she probably had followed them somewhere and they finally found out where she was and it took their anger out on. So allegedly. So my thing is, all officers, I don't care what officer come on this chat, they will back me up in saying, like that man said, you do not leave the scene of a crime until you are cleared by your official.
And you de-escalate and not escalate a situation.
That part.
Well, let's look at this man who basically made a claim that he can prove that ICE murdered Renee. So let's look at this.
Here is 100% proof that this was cold-blooded murder and this ICE agent had every intention on killing her, because you're going to see in this clip right here that it was him at fault and nobody else, and it's indistinguishable. Let's take a look at this clip. Here is the ICE agent right here who ends up shooting her. Here is her wheels. Pay attention to her wheels and look at this area right here where you'll see his legs. Her wheels turn to the right. He has plenty of time to take one step this direction. Here are his legs. Here's where her car is going. Pulls his gun out, car's going. Legs are on the left side of the bumper of her car. His gun is still pointed at her window. Pay attention, his body's shifting this way. He is leaned over her car with his legs on the side of her car, and then he shoots her through the dashboard. Look where his legs are. First shot fired. Legs all the way over here, body lean forward, angled through her dashboard window. And then 2 more shots from the side. Execution shots from her driver's side window with her window rolled down. This was 100% intent. This was cold-blooded murder, and anybody defending this is sick in the head.
Well, I think that was pretty compelling. I didn't see him get hit.
Yeah, and his body was way far away from the tires. Nobody was in front of the car.
Yeah.
And
remember, wait a minute, he got ran over. Remember, ran over, not hit, ran over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, and he pulled a gun out before it was even a possibility of a threat. His gun was already out.
he had his gun out and his phone out at the same time. He was recording and had his gun out at the same time. So he's recording to shoot her. And then what, he said he was fearful for his life. Remember, he was fearful for his life, but he was fearful enough that he had his phone ready so he could shoot and look at that camera and have the phone ready to record it. What officer is scared for their life going to take time out to have their phone in their hand?
Yep, and he was recording
right
with a gun. So I mean, just
like that guy said, though, men, we're not supposed. If a car is leaving us, we're not authorized to shoot at someone just because they're running away, even though they don't follow that principle most of the time.
Right, but he said
at the end of the day, why somebody just didn't get in their car and follow her if they wanted to catch her? Why didn't you just jump in your car and go catch her instead of killing her?
Right.
Allegedly.
Well, I'm gonna see, can I find the video? They have saying now, okay, remember they was talking about why the wife was talking about they have the same tag on the car. Well, we found out there's a video out here that the ICE agents are interchanging after they get into a different situation. They change the tags out.
Well,
and there was a doctor and a nurse on scene to try to give her medical attention, and they told them, no, we have 911 on the way.
Yep.
So,
and
well,
then
he said we got emergency on the way. Is basically what he said.
Right, and he said we have our own emergency on the way. Our own. Didn't say the emergency ambulance. He said our own medical is on their way. Your own medical now. ICE got their own medical team now.
Right. It's gonna come down. Trust me. And all these people are going to eat their words, along with dirt and cement and all types of stuff. Exactly. When they be the ones that are getting
when it hit home.
No, I'm talking about when Trump is out of office.
Yeah.
And retribution is paid back to all these ICE agents.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? Law enforcement is going to be coming after their dumb ass and slamming their ass to the ground face first and doing all the crazy shit that they doing to these citizens should be done to them when they get picked up.
Well, the Attorney General for Minnesota, which is Keith Ellison, he's taking them to court to get the evidence so that the Minnesota Police Department can do their investigation also, since
but that's
Trump,
just small.
since the DOJ decided not to investigate.
Is small fries. Is nothing in comparison to what these people are going to face once Trump is out of office. And I guarantee you, it's not going to be another Republican in office. So everybody that want to claim MAGA, get it all out, because you only going to have a limited time to go around talking this bullshit, because it's all going to come crumbling down in the worst way for y'all.
Yeah, get all your hatred out. Get all your hatred out. Get all that emotion on out. All that hatred, all the hate that you got built up inside you, get it all out. Because when Trump is gone, what you gonna do with it?
And they are going to be under the jail. And I think we need to go ahead and make the requirements for the death penalty. Let's go ahead and make those a little more lenient too. Because I think, put it all out on the table. Let's make orphans out of their families.
That part.
All right, but let's look at this Fox host, and she's going to give her analysis on what happened with Renee Good.
So, Jesse, you just said this woman is in severe crisis. She was boxed in. If you watch the whole video,
she was boxed in.
That's what she was boxed in.
No, I said the team was boxed in.
Okay, the team was boxed in once she moved over, she pulled to the side, and then she actually waves another ICE officer past her, right? So she's in such severe crisis that she can be polite in traffic and say, you go ahead. And then you hear her actually audibly saying, I'm pulling out, right? She signals exactly what she's doing. She starts to move forward, and everyone should go and watch. The New York Times has about 3.5 minutes of footage coming from every angle. And this is what they brought up to President Trump when they were meeting with him last night, when he said, the officer, the brave officer, and after he tweeted, it's hard to believe that the officer is alive when he walked away completely unscathed. We can see that on video as well. But the footage contradicts the administration on almost every level of what they've said. Renee Good waving the vehicle by. The officer was to the side of the car when he drew the gun. He leaned over the hood for the first shot. You can see that on the angle too, that he fired two more shots at arm's length on a 90-degree angle. And
execution
it almost
style.
Doesn't matter actually what she was doing because she didn't have another weapon. According to DOJ policy, which they should be in compliance with, it says deadly force may not be used solely to prevent the escape of a fleeing suspect. Firearms must be discharged at a moving vehicle unless a person is threatening deadly force by other means than the vehicle, and no other means of defense exist, including moving out of the path. He could clearly move out of the path because he did, and that's why he was unscathed in this. I don't know why it wasn't good enough for Secretary Noem or the president or the vice president to say, this is a tragedy, we need to investigate this. And not only do we need to investigate it, we need the FBI to work with local officials on the ground in Minnesota, which apparently they do not want to do. And Governor Walz was talking about that as well. That would have been the responsible thing to do here. And talking as if there is no potential that this officer is at fault with what happened feels like you're getting a little bit ahead of your skis, especially when there is so much footage that contradicts the story that the administration is giving.
Period. She's like,
that
Bam.
part.
Boom.
Bam. Bam.
Mic drop. I like Jessica because she on there telling the truth, baby. She on there truth telling.
Hello.
Okay. And so, it's about time that this I don't even know if I want to call it a news organization, propaganda machine,
right,
decide to tell the truth, for 1 hour out of the day. I don't even see how they still have license from all the lies that they were spewing and all the disinformation that they've been giving out to the public. But kudos to Jessica for doing for doing the heavy lifting and for actually getting the truth out to the people that can actually, just actually giving them the truth instead of propaganda all day, because the rest of the day is nothing but propaganda. And they got this 1 hour. You're not even. Yeah, she's on the 5.
Like 5 minutes of
they got 5 minutes to 24 hours a day of telling the truth, so I guess that's what make them a news news channel, child. I don't know, but she just debunked everything that the president got on the TV and said, like she said, the guy wasn't hit. Trump got in on television and said that the guy was in the hospital and that, he hoped that he was okay, and really they don't put him in a undisclosed location now. And why that have to happen, I have no idea. Why he got to go into hiding, I have no clue. But at this point, they got him in hiding now.
Yeah.
So, and why? I don't know, but
for shooting somebody point blank in the face.
Yeah, and he got to
murdering,
and he got to go fund me. How about that?
I saw that. Yeah, he got to go find me.
Mm-hmm.
You can execute a person as a law enforcement agent, somebody that's unarmed, trying to flee the scene, who just moments before told you, I'm not mad at you, smiling at you. And then you get hundreds of $1,000s in GoFundMe, welfare.
And
that's welfare.
And witness protection.
And you get witness protection. Y'all motherfuckers put this person up, living better than y'all dumbasses.
That part.
For murdering somebody.
And you turn around. I mean, I understand we still talk about the young lady. I feel sorry for her. But nobody, I think it was one person that did finally come out and say, what about the dog? And I think when he was shooting those 2 shots, I think one of them may have hit the dog. But, you know, that's allegedly. But you don't hear nothing about the dog that was in the back seat.
And we saw the car getting towed away. So I mean, I hope that, you know, they said that the woman that was speaking in the video was her wife. So maybe she got the dog. I don't know, but this is a good comment. Where it went. Dang, where it went. Oh yeah, here right here. Makes other agents think maybe. Cause guess what? If they shoot somebody else, they already know they got absolute immunity. They already know that if anybody says something, they could just go ahead and set them up a GoFundMe, get hundreds of thousands of dollars. DHS is going to put them up in a witness protection program and hide them away while they still probably going out during the day masked up. Yeah, y'all taking this to a dangerous place. Whoever supports this.
Cruelty is the point.
But see, what they don't see, the thing is, these people are supporting it, thinking that they are going to be immune to it, thinking that they are going to bypass it, thinking it's gonna, you know, nah, it's going to hit home. It's not a matter of if it's going to hit home. It's just a matter of when.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know that, you know, even though they walk around with that uniform on, I think what's going to make them stop doing this is one of their own get hurt, you know, by them. That's
well,
when
I don't know.
I heard that ICE had picked up another ICE agent off duty.
Right. And they picked up Caroline Levitt's people, and she didn't care. So I don't know about that, ma'am. I don't know if it's I don't know if that's gonna work or not.
They all pawns. Even ICE is pawns. Even the ICE workers, they think they doing something. They are pawns.
Yeah.
They ain't above it either.
Chessboard, baby. Time to play chess.
Well, let's look at Marco Rubio back in 2016. Y'all know the Marco Rubio that we see today. Let's look at this one.
But yeah, here's what happens in many countries around the world. You have a leader that emerges and basically says, don't put your faith in yourselves, don't put your faith in society, put your faith in me. I'm a strong leader, and I'm going to make things better all by myself. This is very typical. You see it in the third world. You see it a lot in Latin America for decades. It's basically the argument he's making that he single-handedly is going to turn the country around. We've never been that kind of country. We have a president. The president is an American citizen who serves for a period of time, constrained by the constitutions and the powers vested in that office. The president works for the people, not the people for the president. And if you listen to the way he describes himself and what he's going to do, he's going to single-handedly do this and do that without regard for whether it's legal or not. Look, I think people are going to have to make up their mind. I can tell you this, no matter what happens in this election, for years to come, there are many people on the right, in the media, and voters at large that are going to be having to explain and justify how they fell into this trap of supporting Donald Trump, because this is not going to end one way or the other. He's going to be the nominee and he's going to lose, or he'll have thrown this party into its most chaotic and divisive period ever. And that's unfortunate, because the Republican Party is the home of the limited government free enterprise movement in America. And if it crumbles or it divides or it splits apart, it'll be very difficult to elect candidates that hold those views at any level of government until we can bring the party back together.
Very different from what we hear today, huh? Different man.
Yeah, today he's a statesman.
Right.
He's a prominent statesman, Secretary of State. And he possibly could be the president. You know, they said he's going to be the president of Cuba. Yeah, he's going to be the Cuban president, you know, after they overtake Cuba. So, hey, welcome to America.
Well, you know, the same thing he said, the same thing the vice president. Remember, the vice president was talking about he didn't like Trump. He could care less about Trump. Trump is stupid. Trump is this, and now he's the vice president. So I guess all those, I guess it's all about the Benjamins.
It's the
Well,
power, baby. It's the power of it
I
all.
think that's all that we got tonight.
Yeah.
We got a lot more, but that's all we got for tonight. Cause y'all know it's a lot going on out here in these USA streets.
I
And
think
so,
that's enough.
yeah,
That
yeah,
part, I
we'll be
think it's
here all
enough.
night.
Woo, man! If you could see all the videos that is out here, that's just woo.
Yeah, it's madness. And guys, we plan on doing the show tomorrow night. So I hope that you guys come back to the show with us. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things, but if we're gonna leave you guys with anything tonight, you guys, we all have the power. I mean, this is America, and we have a constitution, and we all have the right to stand up for our, our own rights and what we feel should be going on, where our taxpayer dollars should be going. If they don't want to put our taxpayer dollars where we want them to go, don't pay them. The fuck I'm paying taxpayer dollars for? To save other countries? No. So there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be talking about in terms of strategy. We just not going to talk about it tonight, guys. It's late. But before we also go, let's also agree, guys, that we want to make the world a better place than what we found it. So what we encourage you guys to do is tell somebody that you do love them. And if no one's told you today, you are amazing, you're powerful, and you are more than enough. So guys, y'all can go and be great. Do you guys have anything to say to the people?
Yes, I want to say thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And your support truly means a lot to us. And we will see you on the next video.
And thank you for joining us. And if you have anything that you would like for us to report on, you can always go to Minion with Opinion. Is that right?
Yeah.
OTRlive.com, and leave us something that you want us to report on, and we'll get back with it as soon as we can. And again, thank you for watching.
Absolutely. And again, that email is otrliveshow@gmail.com. And guys, we are out.
Yeah, you know what time it is. No scripts, no filters, no fear. We said what we said and meant that. Off the record, yeah, we keep it real. No filter shit, we say what we feel. Politics, stories, truth on display. Come on, we talk that talk in our own way. Off the record, Minion the guy, let's go. Foxy to Roxy, 3 she go hard.
I swear on everything that is exactly what he said right here in the studio.
That is the funniest thing I have heard all week.
So hard, Lizzie with the facts she never miss. Nah. I said what I said, that's the twist. Off the record, yeah. Come and catch the vibe. Where real ones talk and the truth survive. Late night truth, we don't just speak. We pull the roots from what they keep. From pain to progress, we light the flame. No spin, no script, we call it by name. Minion bring the vision, Foxy bring the flame. Lizzie drop a cease, it'll never be the same. I said what I said, say it loud, no shame. We taking truth global, remember the name. No apologies, no disguise. Just soul and purpose in our eyes. We move with power, bold and free. Say it loud, you gon' feel this energy. Energy, yeah. said what we said. Off the record. Yeah. Yeah. We said what we said. The record.